Hello and welcome to a new tutorial of mine where I will show you today how to build general nature like plants, like grass, bushes, stones, and like stone with moss on it. You will probably see that in the first video of mine on how to build terrain with spheres. You will find that in my channel and link in the description. So yeah, let's begin. Alright, this is what we're going to be going over today. So this is how we're gonna do a bush. We have like two different shape. We have the same shape, different colors, same material, and we're just gonna merge them into one. That's how it will look like at the end, like a bush. This is a stone with some moss on it. We just have the stone and the grass. I mean, it's not that hard to see. We just put the grass into the stone, and then we have some little grass types. Yeah, this is like you have this type, and then we have this type just out of this. And I will explain how to get this kind of texture underneath it. If you want that, you can do that. But if not, then you don't have to listen to that. But yeah, first things first. How do we access the maker pen? So first thing first, we're gonna go into our watch, gonna go to backpack, then we're gonna see maker pen, we press use on it, and it will appear in front of you. We grab it, and then we have it. So first thing first, open your palette, get your create tool, and then go on palette right here. We're gonna go on tube, then we're gonna go back to tools. Then we have all these settings right here. The important settings are create tool settings and create tube settings and snapping settings, grid. So be sure to have grid on. So the first setting is we have to have uniform shapes on. Then create tube settings. For the bushes, we're gonna be having 0.25 meters. Then tube height scale, we're gonna have 1. Tube facets, we're gonna have 4. Tube analog mode is not a must. You can have it off or on. I'd rather have it on. I will show you what raw does in a sec. We're gonna have smooth tubes on and connect nearby tubes on. So this was it. Basically, we have this tube right here. We're gonna have the colors. So the colors will be right here. We're gonna go on recolor. Gonna go on color. Pick a nice green like this. Press on done. Pick a material like carpet. Press on done. So then we're gonna have like a little bit. The texture size a little bit up. There you go. Now we can start with our bush. So that's what we're gonna do now. So let's go into it. So there we have the settings for the bush. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it a bit like this. So you have like this, this tube shaped, this rotation. Now we can connect it. What you're gonna do is go upwards above it, connect another one, go in it, the same height, just go in it. You can just do this and then just go in it right like this. So you have like a nice round shape tube. Now what you're gonna do is you open your menu, you take clone it one time up, go on recolor, pick a nice color, a nice greenish color. I pick this one, press on done. Make the tube, the texture a little bit higher, just a little bit, and recolor. Now what you wanna do is you take your clone tool, turn off snapping, clone this to the side, like this. And clone this also, but what you want to do is now we clone it inside. Now we have like this, bush shape. Doesn't look like this, like that. But what you want to do is then we take another one, put it in here, and then we take another one of these, put it like this, and then we have a bush. There's a bush. Now we can select all, press on select, hold it one time, press on scale, scale it up a bit, get your move tool and go down. Then we have a bush. Now we go to the stone. It's a little bit easier. The stone is easier. Now going to the stone is pretty simple. First we look at our settings. It's the same settings as the bush, and yeah, it's just basically the same setting as the bush, just the color is different. We're gonna take the, let's say the gray color. This is a nice color. Take an also carpet, going a little bit down, and then we are ready. We pick our create tool, do the same as the bush, like this, connect it like this, then connect this in here. We can do this like, it doesn't have to be in one height and one line. We can go a little bit up, a little bit down, forward, backwards. So we have this shaped stone, I would say. Now what we are going to do now is we pick our transform tool. The transform tool is basically a combination out of rotate, scale, manipulate, and move. So we're gonna scale this up a bit, put this down, and then we're gonna clone it one time up. Take our recolor, then take a nice green, put this down though, the texture, carpet stays the same, recolor this to green, pick our transform tool, scale it down, rotate it a bit so we can put it into the stone, so it would look like moss, like this. There we have like a little moss now, which what you can do is you can add something to it again, and you can rotate it again with transform or just rotate. You can scale this down, and then we have another moss on the stone. That's basically the stone. That was it for the stone. Now going to the grass. Well, now on to the grass. So the settings for the grass is everything stays the same as always. This stays the same, uniform shapes on. This though is how thick or thin your tube is. If you have a smaller number, it's gonna be thin. If you have a bigger number, it's gonna be thick. So the maximum is 1 and the minimum is 0.1. So let me show you an example. Let me put it on 1, then we have a thicker tube. When we put it on 0.1, we have a very thin tube. Then the tube facet is 3 or 4. If you want to have this texture that you see right now in front of me, then put it on 3. If you don't want to have it, just put it on 4. Tube analog mode raw, smooth tubes on, connect nearby tubes on. So what are we going to do now is we're gonna place this like something big like this, and then we're gonna connect this. Gotta go up, but make the tube thinner, you know. By the way, raw tube analog mode raw is when you press harder on your controller or harder on your crate, it will be thick or bigger. If you don't press it that hard, it will be smaller. That's what raw does. It's pretty good for nature. So when you have this base planned, you're gonna connect one tube to the top that goes to the front, make it a little bit thicker. Then we're gonna connect another one to the front like this, make it a little bit thinner, and if you want, you can connect another one and go down with it. it's your choice. Now we have something similar like this. Now what are we going to do now is pick a transform tool, scale it down, scale it a little bit to the front. Now we can do this, clone and flip. We flip this to backwards, then we take our select tool, select this, select both of them, click on our clone tool, click on the white clone in the middle, then we click on transform tool and click once the green ring on top, so it will rotate once. Then we select everything again, then we do the same, clone, flip, we clone it inside, take our transform tool. Now we're gonna rotate it so it will look like this. Now what we can do is you can leave it like this, or you take the white in the middle, scale a little bit down and go down with it. Now if you want to, you can clone it one time more, then transform it again, put it in this position and clone it again if you want. Now we have a nice plant shape. We can put this down, we can scale it up a bit if you want to. Now we have a nice plant. Yeah, this was it with the tutorial. I can do more tutorials like this, it's no problem. This is just basic tutorials on how to do the plants. And by the way, if you want to have those all so you can walk through and save ink, because now you can not walk through it, press on your menu, configure on your tools, take this, press on it, and then physics mode decoration. If you put it on decoration, you can walk through it, and then you will save more ink. Same with these. If you put it on decoration, we can save more ink. Same with this one, put it on decoration, saves more ink. That was it. I hope you guys liked the tutorial. If you want to see more, you know what you do. Like, subscribe, and comment. And if you want to see more stuff like this, more tutorials that you want to see, put a comment down below. If you want to see any specific tutorials, like maybe CV2, maybe other terrain tactics, maybe other nature stuff, or furniture, whatever you guys want to see, I will try and do my best to explain how to build it as best as possible and save as much ink as possible. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.